valley shakes. David. One stone flies. A dynasty begins. David.
Kings start as shepherds.
David. Kings starred as shepherds.
David sprinted toward Goliath while 40,000 soldiers ran away. No battle cry, no hesitation, just acceleration toward death. The giant spoke curses. The boy said nothing. But Goliath took a step backward. 9 feet of warrior retreated from 5 feet of shepherd. The Philistine army saw it. Israel saw it. A boy running forward made a giant move back. David had seen this before, not with warriors, with predators. The moment before they die, they all do the same thing. Goliath's feet knew what his pride refused to admit. Death was running toward him.
One stone flies. A dynasty begins. David.
But before that moment in the valley, there had been 40 long days of domination that set the stage for their collision.
Paralyzes. Steel. And stone.
The ground shook when Goliath walked. Not a little tremor. The kind of shaking that made wine spill from cups and brave men fall to their knees. Every morning at sunrise, bronze armor caught fire in the light. Not real fire, the kind that happens when metal meets sun.
No mercy. No God. Only fear.
125 pounds of bronze turned the giant into a walking furnace.
The giant walks.
His shadow stretched across the valley like spilled ink. 9 feet of warrior. Muscles like ship ropes. A spear shaft thick as a roof beam. Day 1, Israel's army watched him emerge. They gripped swords until knuckles went white. Day 10, soldiers vomited before morning formation. Empty stomachs heaving air and yellow bile. Day 20, grown men wept in their tents. Sobbing, snot running into beards. Day 30, 3 soldiers tried deserting. They were dragged back, made to watch again. Day 40 brought the worst sound yet. Laughter. The giant was laughing at them now. The valley turned everything into nightmare. His voice hit like fists to the stomach. Dogs whimpered and fled with tails between legs. Horses kicked their handlers and bolted. The words came every morning, drilling into skulls like iron spikes.
Choose your champion, cowards! Send your best man to die.
Maybe today someone will...
Nobody's going. Ever.
The king offered his daughter.
I'd rather die poor and forgotten than die today.
Your god hides like you hide. Weak. Pathetic. Send someone, or admit you worship nothing.
The giant's armor weighed more than teenage boys. His spear tip alone, 15 pounds of iron shaped for gutting men like fish. When he walked, bronze armor plates rattled like bones in a box. That sound invaded dreams. Soldiers woke screaming, sheets soaked in sweat, that clicking still crawling through their heads. Fear has a smell, like rusted iron mixed with spoiled meat and sour sweat. The whole camp reeked. Flies gathered like they knew death was coming. King Saul stood 7 feet tall. tallest man in Israel, looked like a child next to Goliath.
Saul trembles. Shadows stretch. No men dares, no sword drawn, just silence.
The king who'd killed thousands now hid in his tent, hands shaking so bad he couldn't hold wine cups. He offered impossible rewards. His virgin daughter, no taxes forever. Gold until your arms hurt, counting. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed loud. Nobody wanted to die. Warriors who'd torn lions apart with bare hands now ran, leaving weapons stuck in dirt. 40,000 trained soldiers, all broken, all terrified, all defeated without one sword raised. The giant wasn't winning battles. He was rotting souls from inside out. Proving that the biggest weapon isn't bronze or iron. It's making men forget they're men. But terror only works on those who listen. And somewhere in Bethlehem's hills, a shepherd boy had stopped listening to anything except God's whisper. Sheep don't care about wars. They want grass and water. David gave them both. Sometimes he gave them his blood too. While armies cowered in the valley, Jesse's youngest son sat on Bethlehem's hills, watching his white sheep move slowly across the grass. 16 years old, invisible to everyone except predators. His brothers wore armor. David wore a shepherd's cloak, stiff with dried blood, wolf blood, bear blood, his own blood mixed together. The hills taught what armies couldn't. Patience when stalking wolves. Silence when lions hunted. Perfect aim when one stone meant your sheep get eaten alive or you eat lamb for dinner. Last spring, a bear grabbed a lamb. David heard bones cracking in the bear's mouth.
Dust rises. Fear doesn't.
He didn't think, just charged. Jumped on the bear's back, locked his arm around its throat. Squeezed until he felt something snap inside its neck.
The field keeps its king.
The bear's claws ripped his side open. He could see his own ribs through the tears. Stuffed the wounds with mud and wool. Kept working. The lamb lived.
Dust rises. Fear doesn't.
David learned something. Protecting the weak makes you harder than bronze.
Silence. The field keeps its king. David. The wild bowed first.
His sling wasn't decoration. 2 leather strips stained dark with sweat. A pouch worn smooth by 10,000 stones. When wolves came, David didn't miss. When thieves came, David didn't miss. Trees bore deep cuts from thousands of practice shots. Bark stripped away where stones had struck. Then came the errand. The simple, everyday. Destiny-changing errand. Jesse shoved bread into David's arms. 10 loaves. A wheel of cheese that stank like feet.
Take these to your brothers. Come back with news.
The walk from Bethlehem to Elah took half a day. David heard armies before seeing them. Metal screaming against metal. 10,000 conversations mixing into noise that hurt your teeth. The smell hit next. Fear sweat, blood. The stench of pure terror sweating from 10,000 men. David crested the final hill as silence fell. Wrong silence. The kind before someone dies. Then he saw it. Saw him. A giant. Not just tall, wrong tall, impossible tall. Bronze armor turned him into a walking mirror throwing light like knives. Each step left craters. The spear looked like it could pin an entire family to the ground.
40 days. Your God stays silent. Send someone or admit you're all women.
Who is that thing? Goliath.
Don't look. He remembers faces.
What happens if someone fights?
They die. Bad. Slow.
David watched grown warriors scramble backward on hands and knees, leaving their swords and dignity in the dirt. His brother Eliab grabbed his throat.
Get back to your sheep,
He mocks God.
and you mock us. Leave now.
Someone has to.
Not you. Never you. You're nothing.
David watched grown warriors scramble backward on hands and knees, leaving their swords and dignity in the dirt. But David's chest burned like swallowing coals. The same fire when predators touched his flock. The same rage that made him rip a lion's jaw apart. The giant would fall. David could already see it. Already taste the blood. King Saul's tent reeked of fear sweat and wine vomit. The king sat slumped on his traveling throne, 7 feet of coward. His hand shook so bad, wine sloshed from his cup like blood from a wound. David stood before him, wool and mud still clinging to his sandals. Guards laughed, a boy among killers, like bringing a rabbit to feed wolves. Saul's advisors didn't even look up from their maps. The king's voice came out broken. 40 days of humiliation does that.
You're the shepherd?
Yes.
You want to fight him?
Today.
He's been killing since before you drew your first breath.
I've been killing too.
Silence. David's voice had changed. Not louder, harder, like bone scraping bone.
A lion took my lamb. Spring. 3 months back.
You ran?
I ran at it, grabbed its mane, shoved my fist down its throat, ripped its tongue out through its neck.
David rolled up his sleeve. The scars made advisors step back. 4 gouges, knuckle deep, where claws had scraped bone. Yellow pus still leaked from one. Flies landed to feed. David didn't brush them off.
Bears are worse, stronger. This one took my sheep. I took its eyes, then its life.
He lifted his tunic. More scars, bite marks where ribs showed through. a hole near his kidney that hadn't closed right. You could fit 2 fingers inside.
Cover yourself.
This is what protecting sheep looks like. Goliath is just another predator.
He's not an animal. He's bronze, iron, death.
Then God will kill death.
You're a boy. He's a war.
Saul circled David, measuring.
I've ended roars, lion and bear.
The boy barely reached his chest. But something in his eyes, not courage, certainty, the kind madmen have before they burn everything.
They also begin them.
The king called for his armor. Bronze helmet worth more than farms. Mail coat that took 4 men to carry. A sword that had drunk so much blood, it stayed red no matter how much they cleaned it. David put it on, took 1 step, crashed to his knees. The armor weighed more than him. Arms couldn't bend.
They also begin them.
Legs buckled. The helmet crushed his skull. Blood ran from his nose where metal pressed bone.
Can't breathe. Can't see.
You'll die without protection.
I'll die wearing this.
Then how?
Same as always.
Staff. Sling. Pouch. 5 stones from the brook. Tools for impossible killing.
Boy, when you die, he'll eat you. Literally. He does that.
Then he'll taste what faith is made of.
They also begin them.
The tent flap closed. Advisors placed bets on how many pieces David would return in. Nobody bet on him returning whole.
They also begin them.
David sprinted toward Goliath while 40,000 soldiers ran the other way. Think about that. 40,000 grown men running backward, crying, pissing themselves. One boy running forward. No hesitation, just acceleration toward death. The contrast was so insane, both armies stopped to stare. The Philistines thought it was a joke. Israel thought it was suicide. The valley became an arena. Two fighters, one impossible equation.
The valley remembers who moved first. David.
Goliath's armor weighed 125 pounds. Each bronze scale locked to the next like snakeskin forged in hell. His spear, 15 pounds of iron shaped to punch through 3 men at once. His shield bearer carried protection the size of a door, thick as a man's thigh. David had leather and rocks. That's it. That's all. The giant saw him coming and laughed so hard, spit flew 20 feet.
Am I a dog that you come with sticks?
You come with sword and spear.
I'll feed your flesh to ravens. Your bones to wild dogs.
I come in the name of the Lord of hosts.
Where is he? I don't see.
That's when Goliath stepped backward. Just one step, but everyone saw it.
He sees his death walking toward him.
9 feet of monster retreating from 5 feet of fury. The Philistine army gasped. Israel's jaws dropped. A boy running forward made a giant move back. David had seen this before, not with warriors, with predators. The moment before they die, they all step back. They smell their own death coming. Goliath's body knew what his pride wouldn't admit. Death was sprinting straight at him. The sling came out smooth as breathing, leather strips black with old blood.
The valley holds its breath.
The stone, river smooth, heavy as truth, dropped into the pouch.
Holds its breath. The giant roars. The shepherd runs. Steel flashes. Leather sings.
David's wrist started the spin. The whistle it made rose above the sounds of clanging armor and fearful shouting.
Clash.
Goliath raised his spear. Too much armor, too much weight, like swimming in mud, too slow. The sling spun faster. The sound changed pitch, low whistle to high scream. David's eyes locked onto target. Not the bronze chest. Not the protected throat. The forehead. That patch of skin between helmet and eyes. 3 inches of vulnerability. The only place that mattered. Physics is brutal at 60 miles per hour. David planted his front foot. Hip twisted. Shoulder followed. Arm extended like a whip, fingers released. The stone flew like God's own judgment. Time stopped, heart stopped. The stone hung in the air for exactly 1 second. 1 second that lasted forever. 1 second where everyone knew everything was about to change. Then, impact. The sound was wet wood splitting. The stone didn't just hit Goliath's skull, it entered it. Pushed through bone like a thumb through soft fruit. Brain matter sprayed out the back. The giant's eyes rolled up, showing only white. Blood erupted from his nose, mouth, ears. Everywhere blood could escape, it escaped. Goliath stood there, standing but dead. Brain destroyed, but body not knowing yet. Then he fell. And the earth shook one last time. Goliath's hand twitched. Fingers grabbed at dirt. Body trying to live while brain leaked out like porridge.
Silence lands. We watch the roar forget.
David didn't hesitate. Shepherds never hesitate when predators need killing. He sprinted to the giant's body. No victory dance, no celebration, just work that needed finishing. The sword lay next to Goliath, dropped when his brain exploded. The handle was carved for giant hands, thick as David's thigh. The blade reflected clouds and blood and David's own wild eyes. David needed both hands, both feet planted, every muscle screaming. The sword weighed 50 pounds. His arms shook like tree branches in storm wind. But rage is stronger than muscle. Faith is stronger than physics. The blade went up, scraped against sky. Sun turned it white hot, blinding. The blade came down. The cut wasn't clean. Took 3 swings. First one stuck in the spine. Second cut through windpipe, spraying blood like a fountain. Third, separated head from body. The head rolled twice, stopped face up, one eye still twitching, tongue hanging out, bitten half through. David grabbed the hair, thick as rope, sticky with brain matter and blood. The head weighed 40 pounds. Blood poured from the neck like wine from a jug. It covered David's feet, legs, chest. He lifted the head high, higher, higher. 2 armies, 80,000 eyes. 1 boy, 1 head, 1 impossible moment. Then hell broke loose.
Retreat! Retreat!
The giant's dead! We're all dead!
Run or die! Run or die!
Kill them all! No mercy! No prisoners!
The Philistine line shattered like skulls under hammers. Warriors who'd laughed that morning now ran sobbing, snot streaming, bowels releasing. They left everything, weapons worth fortunes, gold, food, dying friends. Just ran. The sound was thunder, made of fear. Thousands of feet pounding dirt, hearts exploding from panic. Israel's army remembered what rage felt like. 40 days of stored hatred erupted. They poured down the valley like blood from a throat. Swords that hadn't tasted flesh in 40 days got drunk on killing. Spears found backs of running men. The chase went for miles. To Gath, to Ekron. Philistine bodies marked the path like breadcrumbs. Some still crawling when Israel's soldiers found them. David stood alone in the valley, Goliath's head still dripping, his shepherd's robe destroyed, his hands stained forever, blood under every fingernail, blood in his hair, blood in his teeth from the spray.
Whose son are you?
Jesse's.
No, you're nobody's son now. You're the giant killer.
God killed him.
God held the sling. You released the stone.
Women ran from cities singing. Children threw flowers at the blood-soaked boy. Songs started immediately. Saul has killed thousands, David tens of thousands. The shepherd boy was dead. Something else stood in his place. Something kingdoms would fear. Something giants would run from. Something that would become king. But Goliath wasn't the first giant to walk the earth, and he won't be the last. Before the flood, when angels abandoned heaven for human women, their children grew into something monstrous, the Nephilim, giants who made Goliath look small. Only one man walked with God while they ruled the earth. Enoch saw what was coming. What he wrote will terrify you. The full story waits on your screen. Click on the end screen now to discover why God had to drown the world.